How long did he speak for? It's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes? He railed on Republicans for the entirety of his speech and decided to crap all over half of America. And what he did is worse than deplorables. It's worse than Obama calling people bitter clingers. They cling to their guns and religion. His direct quote at a fundraiser in San Francisco, his hoity-toity fundraiser. This is even worse than that because you have the president of the United States literally standing before this, fascist. I mean, this is fascism. He's standing up there declaring that he's democracy and that everything that opposes his ideology is a danger to the republic. That is inexcusable. This was one of the most embarrassing moments in modern political history. There was no purpose to his address except to try to bait Republicans and because he desperately does not want this to be an election about the issues in which he failed. He wants Republicans to fight over policy. And I'm going to tell you, there are people out there who are like, oh, well, I think it's just, there was some dude who had emailed, or not emailed, had messaged and was like, well, I just think it's kind of, weak that, Republicans, that there are people out there saying, don't take the bait. We need to do this head on. And I'm like, how many victories do you have, dude? Because if you're going to have a phallus measuring contest, I'm going to break the table when I put it down. How many victories do you want to have going by your way of doing things as opposed to mine and other people that have more than one brain cell to rub together? How much you want to do this? What kind of measuring contest you want to have here? This isn't about looking tough. It's about winning. These people who think that if they flex, that's the same thing as winning. It's not. Some people on the right are so damn self-involved. This is about winning. You want to win. Winning is a virtue. Anything that gets in the way of that is a distraction. I mean, I have so many, and we're going to be hitting all of these headlines today. His whole speech was about distraction. That's all it was. And then he started doing damage control all weekend, all that night, going into Friday, Saturday. He literally tweeted September 1st, 2022, quote, Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans are a threat to the very soul of this country. And then Washington Free Beacon has a video of him with Pete Ducey saying, do you consider all Trump supporters to be a threat in the country? And he's like, well, I don't consider them at all. Listen to this. He's like, I don't consider them to be a threat at all.
Do you consider all Trump supporters to be a threat to the country?
No, everyone, come on.
Come on, look. You keep trying to make that case. I don't consider any Trump supporter to be a threat to the country.
I don't consider any Trump supporter to be, but that's literally what you didn't tweet. He said, I don't consider any Trump supporter a threat to the country. Yet on September 1st of this month, this year, Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans are a threat to the very soul of this country. He's trying to do damage control. He had tweeted it repeatedly. Quote, this is Thursday night. Too much of what's happening in our country is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Over and over and over again, he said this. And then he realized, I mean, hopefully he did, but it looked so ridiculous what he said. So ridiculous that they had to go out and now they're desperately trying to do this, whatever it is, this walk back, this damage control. It was embarrassing. Now, the other thing, and we're going to get into this because I think he also had a Labor Day speech in Wisconsin where he started it again. He said that MAGA Republicans are a threat to the country. That was Thursday. On Friday evening, no, they're not a threat to the country. On Labor Day in Wisconsin, yes, they're a threat to the country. Back and forth, back and forth. He is President McUnity Cheesehead. I don't know what else to say. It's just it's ridiculous. Now, keep this in mind because he also on Labor Day was blasting. We're going to play this here coming up. He was blasting Republicans saying, well, Republicans, if they believed in reducing inflation, they should have voted for the Inflation Reduction Act. Here's the problem. Democrats then should have allowed the Congressional Budgetary Office to actually tell us if the Inflation Reduction Act lowered inflation or not. Remember, they refused to allow that analysis to be released. So you blame them for not wanting to commit to something that they didn't know? Would you buy a house knowing what would on sight unseen? Would you Would you buy a house sight unseen? No way. Would you buy a car not knowing if it's ever been wrecked, if there's anything wrong with it? Nope. No, you wouldn't. Why in the hell should you spend up to $1 trillion on something and you don't actually know if it's going to do what it claims to do?